So today I wanted to show you my to the gym face makeup, and you guys know that I don't go to a gym or anything, but I understand there's some women out there, or men even, who they want to exercise, whether it's in the gym or going on a hike. They want to do something, but they don't want to go without makeup. Problem is, wearing makeup to the gym will absorb into your skin and cause all sorts of nasty breakouts and stuff. And I'm actually having a breakout right now because I'm purposely making my skin awful in order to clear it up, which you guys will know if you follow me on Twitter. But this is kind of what I do if I'm going to go like for a walk or for a run or something and I want to wear makeup, or I'm going somewhere after. And not eyes or anything, just face makeup purely. The way I like to do it is to use ingredients that are okay to soak into my skin. Use stuff that's okay, that won't break me out, that'll actually make my skin better in the long run. So if you guys are interested in learning how to do this, or if you guys need makeup for when you're sweaty or exercising, I will show you how. The first thing I'm going to do is use a moisturizer to prime, and the reason that I'm not using a primer is because when we're at the gym, anything that is on our face is going to be soaked right up into our skin. So the primer that I'm using is actually an oil control. It's a daily oil control thing. It's an oil-free formula. Use whatever moisturizer that you have that doesn't make you greasy though. In addition, I'm not going to be applying this with my fingers. I'm going to be applying it with a brush such as this. It's very thick and very bunted. You can see it's flat at the top. The reason why is because when you apply with our fingers, it gets kind of like a smooth coverage, but it doesn't get in. This will really buff that product in, so that this is the first thing that's absorbed. If we apply a layer of this with our fingers and then our foundation, it's all going to soak it at the same time. But when we use a buffing motion with this to really push it in deep, that'll absorb faster than other products, and that's what we're going to benefit most from. So as you guys can see, I really recommend one that's really thick like this, really bunted, and you guys know I hate the color pink, but these are actually awesome brushes. I got them in a haul a little while ago, which I will probably link to you. Start at the problem oily areas and then really buff this in. Now, if you guys have dry skin, or if you have not exfoliated recently, you may want to exfoliate before doing this, because buffing is a form of micro-exfoliation. If you didn't buff before, it might lift up a couple of flakes or things like that. But that's another good thing about this moisturizer kind of priming effect, is that it'll help conceal any flakes or any dryness that we do have while we're exercising. So next, it's time to go in with our foundation, and instead of foundation, I'm going to be using I think this is a Beauty Balm cream. I'm using this one. It's a Sarah McNamara Miracle Skin Transformer in Light, or a tinted moisturizer. A tinted moisturizer would be better, but as you guys can see, I'm really breaking out bad just because I have not been using any of my acne creams or products. You guys can follow me on Twitter and find out exactly how it's working, because I'm making my skin worse in attempts to make it better. So as you guys can see, I'm having some real problems right now, so I'm going to be using a Beauty Balm cream, which is a little bit thicker than a tinted moisture, but we have a video on tinted moisturizers, and if you want, use that, because it's a lot better for your skin when you exercise. So, and the reason why is because anything that you put on your skin is going to be absorbed by your skin. So this one does have a couple of different beneficial ingredients, and I'm going to use it on the same brush. Reason why is because I'm applying this to my problem areas. I really want to buff this in. Everywhere else on my face, I'm going to use a different brush for a lighter application. So this is just going to go on those really bad sticky problem areas. Because this is a stippled bunting brush, it's really going to buff that in and really conceal any of the imperfections better. Also, because it is a Beauty Balm, it is going to be a little bit thicker than any tinted moisturizer. Next, I'm going to be using another very thick brush, but this one's a bit different. As you guys can see, this one's more flat and domed, and this is actually a lot thicker than this one even. So this one is what I'm going to use just to spot treat all the rest of the areas on my face and kind of buff this in. You guys can use it with powder too, if you have a powder foundation, but I'm just going to use it with my kind of tinted Beauty Balm. So now I'm spotting it on to where I need it most, and then I'm just going to blend out to the areas that we didn't get before. I honestly love this brush as well because it can be powder or liquid, and this one is a lot denser, but it gives a fuller coverage with less product, if that makes sense, so I like it a lot. That's how simple it is. So now, if you guys are at the gym or if I'm on a walk or something, what's going to happen is that when I sweat, my skin is going to absorb this stuff instead of absorbing, you know, a bunch of foundation and cakey stuff like that. This has a little bit of tint, but it's not nearly as bad as a full coverage foundation. And then here I'm just using whatever's left on the brush to kind of even out the skin tone everywhere else on the face. Next, it's time for powder, and the denser the brush, the better. You could definitely use this brush for powder. This is actually my favorite. This whole little brushes come in like a set. This is actually my favorite brush from the set. I love this one. This is great for powder as well, but I'm actually going to use a kabuki because I want kind of a light thing because we're going to end up sweating, and sometimes sweat looks weird if it's only up here and then the powder is still dry everywhere else. But I'm going to take a kabuki brush from the same set. This is still a very, very dense kabuki brush, and I'm going to apply just a little bit of drugstore powder. This is the Almay one. Use whatever it is you guys have or like. And I'm going to use a very, very kind of swirling motion. You guys can see I'm not like buffing in. I'm using like a very tapping, rolling motion. And this is going to cover up a little bit of those spots. It's going to kind of set the foundation, but it's not going to be like super off as well. So just kind of rolling that so that it's not super, super thick. So now if you guys have any spots like this that are showing through that are really, really bothersome to you, you can definitely take a concealer and just pat that on. For me, because I'm going to be exercising and stuff, I'm going to go on a hike later today, I really don't want to mess with concealer and stuff like that, but if you feel you need it, you can just pat a little bit on and then maybe apply a little bit more powder. The finishing step for me, however, is going to be blush. And I usually blush and highlight and contour. Here's the thing. With gym makeup, you do not want to have blush and highlight and contour and all this color on your face. So I am just going to choose one. I am using a blush color from Maybelline that's a little bit darker, so it kind of doubles as a contour. And I'm not going to apply highlight all over here because that's just too much. It'll soak into the skin. The less the better, but I still feel like I need a little bit. I'm using this angled brush. You can definitely use this for powders. I love this one. Again, this entire set is just really dense, which I love. But this one will apply a lot of color really well. So you can use powder, but I am going to use powder blush and just apply it right there because it is that nice angle. So I'm going to take a bit of color on this brush and just start moving down my cheek. What's great about this is that you can really apply how much color or how little color you like. For me, I like a little bit more blush, but I'm just going to kind of pat and stipple this on until I have the desired amount. So that is it for a gym makeup tutorial and for face makeup. And if you guys want, you can do other things as well. I recommend going waterproof. But if you're one of those people who needs to wear makeup while exercising or whatever, I kind of understand that this is the best way to get the least amount of crud into your skin and the best stuff in. So yeah, most of this stuff you can find from the drugstore. You can find the moisturizer from Sephora. These brushes are online. I'm not sure where else you can find them. I'll put links to everything. And the moisturizer you can get anywhere, like just use whatever you have. But that is what I do. That is what works for me. And I really hope that you guys learned from and enjoyed this. So I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye.